Hello guys, so in today's video we'll show you how to solve quadratic equations in word problems. So quadratic equations sometimes are written in words. So the first for us to solve it, we have to first interpret the quadratic equation. We have to change the words into quadratic equation into numeric values. So what do I mean by that? Now in this equation it says if 3 times a certain number is subtracted from twice the square of the number, the result is 5. What are the possible values of the number? So now this is a word problem. We first have to interpret the equation. So now let's watch closely. When we are solving word problem, we have to read the sentences carefully so that we will know the values to bring out, we'll understand it better. So it says if 3 times, so it's 3, we underline it with blue marker, 3 times a certain number. So 3 times a certain number. So first, let's call that number. Let the number be x. So that number, let's call it x, is subtracted from twice. Okay, remember it says 3 times a certain number. So that means 3x. Let's keep that on one side. So we have 3x now. Is subtracted from twice the square of the number. Okay, now it's hard to take all that in. So let's first start with this. Is subtracted from twice the square of the number. So from twice the square of the number. So we have twice the square of the number. Remember the number is x. But so square of the number is x square. So now let's go back to this. It says is so 3 times a certain number is subtracted from subtracted from means you're taking that thing out from it. So we are subtracting 3x from 2x squared. So subtracting it, we are going to have 2x squared minus 3x. That's what we mean by subtracted from. So the next one they say the result is 5. We are going to have 5. So we have interpreted the quadratic equation. So we now have what are the possible values of the number. So now they are telling us to find the roots of that number. So now we have gotten the quadratic equation. It's now easier for us to solve. We can either use any method that we want, the one that will best suit this problem. We can use factorization, completing the square, or formula method. Now, looking at this, let's just use formula method because formula method is easier and it can be applied to solving all quadratic equations. So we have formula method x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So now we have ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And here we have 2x squared minus 3x is equal to 5. We can move this 5 here. So making it 2x squared minus 3x minus 5 equal to 0. So now is properly arranged, is in the general form. Now we can compare them. So our a is equal to 2, our b is equal to minus 3, and c is equal to minus 5. So therefore x is equal to b is minus 3, so we have minus 3 plus or minus square root of minus 3 square minus 4 into a is 2 times minus 5 all over 2 times 2. So therefore x is equal to minus 3 is 3. So we have 3 plus or minus square root of minus 3 square is 9. 9 minus 4 times 2, 8. 8 times minus 5 is minus 40. So minus 40 minus, so we have minus 40. Remember, what we have here is minus 40. So that minus 40 is multiplying this minus here, giving us plus 40. So this will be plus 40 all over 4. So our x is equal to minus 3. No, our x is equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 9 plus 40 is 49 all over 4. So square root of 49 is 7. So x is equal to 3 plus or minus 7 over 4. X is equal to 3 plus 7 over 4, or x is equal to 3 minus 7 over 4. So x is equal to 3 plus 7 is 10. So we have 10 over 4, or x is equal to 3 minus 7 is minus 4 all over 4. So x is equal to, this cancels, this is 5, this is 2, this cancel 1, this cancel 1. So we have 5 over 2, or x is equal to 1. So in decimal, x is equal to 2.5, or x is equal to 1. So these are the possible values of the number. Now we have the second problem. It says find two consecutive numbers whose product is 156. Now we are going to follow this word problem word by word. Now it says find two consecutive numbers. Now what are consecutive numbers? When we say something is consecutive, it follows, like, it's after this is the next is this. So let's say we have Saturday, the next after Saturday is Sunday. So those are consecutive. Okay, let's say we have two, the next after two is three. So that's what we mean by consecutive. So we say two consecutive numbers. So let's say, those numbers be n and n plus 1. We use n plus 1 because when we add 1 to n, we get the second number. So that's what we mean. Whose product is 156. So if we multiply this number and this number, we'll get 156. That's what it means. So therefore, n into n plus 1 is 156. So now you have interpreted it. So n times n is n square. N times 1 is n plus n is equal to 156. So now putting it in general format for quadratic equation, we have n square plus n minus 156 is equal to 0. We have converted this word problem into a quadratic equation, which is this. So now we have to choose the method to use. We are going to use formula method again in this problem. So using the general format, we have ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So this is the general format for all quadratic equation, but we use our variables n as n here. So we are just going to change x to n. So now this is what we have. So comparing this and this, our a is 1, our b is 1, and our c is minus 156. So the formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So x is equal to, b is 1, so we have minus 1 plus or minus square root of b square is 1 square minus 4 into 1 times minus 156 all over 2 into 1. So we have x is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 1 square is 1 minus, so 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 4 times minus 156 is minus 624. So all over 2. So x is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 1 minus minus is plus 625. So plus 624 over 2. So x is equal to minus 1 plus or this is supposed to be n. Remember, n is our variable. So n is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 1 plus 624 is 625 over 2. So n is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 625 is 25. So 25 over 2. So therefore, n is equal to minus 1 plus 25 over 2, or n is equal to minus 1 plus minus 1 minus 25 over 2. So minus 1 plus 25 is 24. So n is 24 over 2, or minus 1 minus 25 is 26 minus 26 over 2. So n is 12, or n is minus 13. 2 goes there is 13, 2 goes there is 12. Remember, it says find two consecutive numbers. Remember, we put our first number as n and our second number as n plus 1. So those two consecutive numbers, when n is 12, the next number after it is n plus 1, which is 13. So when n is 12, our two consecutive number is 12 and 13. And when n is minus 13, our two consecutive number is n plus 1, which is minus 12. So when n is minus 13, our two consecutive numbers are minus 12 and minus 13. So those are the numbers. It's either this or this.